Have you ever wondered why some freshers get software jobs literally lightning fast, while others just keep applying for months on end without a single interview call? I mean, it's frustrating, right? Well, welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we are dissecting a massive pain point for new tech grads, and we're going to look at exactly how to fix it. Now, the really surprising part here is that this struggle, it usually has absolutely nothing to do with being less intelligent or less talented. No way. In reality, most freshers are just making a few very common, but thankfully easily fixable mistakes. These are traps that quietly destroy their chances of getting hired before a recruiter even sees their name. So, here's our critical checklist of traps we need to avoid. We're going to cover the mass application trap, missing real-world projects, ignoring crucial soft skills, the language hopping trap, and finally, giving up too early. If you want to stand out from hundreds of other applicants, avoiding these 5 mistakes will give you a massive competitive advantage. All right, diving right in. Mistake number 1, the mass application trap. This is all about quality over quantity. Look, so many freshers think getting a job is just a numbers game, right? Just blast out 300 applications with the exact same resume and hope something sticks. But recruiters can spot a generic application from a mile away. If your resume doesn't match the specific role, get this, it is highly likely to be automatically rejected by applicant tracking systems. We're talking up to 90 to 95% of the time. You're getting tossed out before a human even lays eyes on it. So how do we beat the filter? You need a dedicated workflow for every single application. Because recruiters only spend about 6 or 7 seconds scanning a resume, instead of mass applying, spend around 45 minutes to really decode that specific job description. Customizing your resume slightly for each role, just tweaking your summary and keywords to match their exact requirements, is an absolute game changer. Here's exactly what I mean. The crucial difference is how you prove your value. Take a generic, weak bullet like, ran email campaigns. That tells the recruiter absolutely nothing about your impact. But if you tailor it and say, conducted user segmentation increasing product adoption by 32%, see the difference? It perfectly frames your relevance and proves your hard value to the hiring manager. Moving right along to mistake number 2, missing real-world projects. This is where proof completely beats certificates. Honestly, this is one of the biggest reasons freshers struggle. Recruiters don't just want a massive stack of certificates. They want hard proof that you can actually build something. Ask yourself, which project shows more real-world capability? A simple calculator app you built by copying a 20-minute tutorial, or a custom full-stack smart expense tracker? To really impress them, you've got to build things that solve actual problems, like an e-commerce platform, a chat application, or a job portal. Again, quality over quantity is the key here. Building and properly documenting just 3 to 5 solid projects can honestly make you stand out from hundreds of other applicants. The absolute best way to present them is using the STAR formula. Clearly define the situation or problem, the task you took on, your specific technical actions, and the results. A well-documented project is your absolute best proof of potential. Okay, mistake number 3, ignoring crucial soft skills. Because communication is key. A lot of candidates pour literally all of their energy into memorizing coding syntax, right? And they completely neglect their ability to communicate, and then they struggle during interviews. But there's a super powerful mantra from the dev community you really need to remember. Technical skills get you interviews. Soft skills get you jobs. It's so true. Companies don't just hire coders. They hire well-rounded problem solvers who can actually work in teams. Interviewers want to see exactly how you operate. They want to see that you can explain your thought processes clearly, ask good questions, and collaborate well. Are you coachable? Can you take feedback? And listen, you do not need perfect English for this. You just need the confidence to introduce yourself, explain your ideas clearly, and quantify your work. Nailing that alone can dramatically improve your performance. Mistake number 4, the language hopping trap. Remember, consistency beats randomness. This happens all the time. Freshers frantically jump from Java to Python to React to AI, changing their entire focus every single week. But there's this great, authentic piece of wisdom from a user in the Learn programming community on Reddit that hits the nail on the head. Learning 20% of 6 languages is meaningless. When you constantly bounce around, you know a little bit of everything, but you aren't strong in anything. The clear solution here is focus. Choose one specific path and go incredibly deep. If you're interested in Java development, commit to it.
Learn the fundamentals, then master data structures and algorithms, then pick up a framework like Spring Boot, and finally build complex projects with it. Consistency beats randomness every single time for beginners. And that brings us to our final and honestly most psychological trap. Mistake number 5, giving up too early. This is all about building resilience.
Let's be real, the tech job market is fiercely competitive, and rejections hurt. Sometimes you just won't hear back from dozens of companies at all. But I absolutely love this programming metaphor. Think of human resilience just like retry logic in a Python script. When a script encounters a failure, what does it do? It delays, resets, and tries again. You need to handle failures gracefully just like that. The difference between successful engineers and everyone else is simply that they don't let painful rejections stop the hunt. You have to treat every single rejection as actionable feedback. Turn it into an opportunity. Seek recruiter feedback when you can. Identify patterns in the skills you're missing. Build targeted projects to fill those exact gaps. And hey, remember to celebrate the small wins along the way. If you keep improving your resume and practicing your interviews, the opportunity will eventually come. So what does this all mean for you? Avoiding these 5 mistakes instantly puts you ahead of the massive competition. Getting your first software job isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being consistent, prepared, and willing to keep improving. So I want to leave you with a provocative thought. What will you change about your very next application? Because if you apply what we've covered today, your next application could literally be the one that changes your life. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep building.